Okay, today is February 21st, 2016. Let's go to the future and the indexes first, and then I will go to and finish up with the momentum stocks such as Apple, Facebook's, Amazon, those sort of thing. So first off, let's take a look at the crude oil. We're looking at crude last week, and we're saying that it's going to break about this. Looking forward to break about this trend line, possibly get up to this level here, this pivot, somewhere around 33.72. As you can see, it came up and tagged that level, and then now it's kind of pulled back a little bit. We're still looking for a push above this level and possibly get up to this 35.35 before it do any substantial pullback here, because right now it seems like the momentum kind of shifted a little bit, and this right here could be a near-term bottom here if this thing hold. So right now I'm kind of looking at a possible continuation of this bounce and maybe break out of this this little pivot here. If it pull back a little bit more, then we could possibly setting up like here, setting up a little bit of a inverted head and shoulder here. Then we could do a major move and project that up to the next level. But for now, essentially watching this level, and if we could pull back, maybe retest this pivot, or it could even possibly get down to this area here, somewhere around there, just below the the $30 level, in back to the 29. Then maybe we could get a little bit of a push, because then essentially that would set up this little bit of a inverted right shoulder here. Okay, so that's basically what I'm looking at. But still, if it bounce off this this trend line, using this trend line as a support and come back up, punch through this 33.72 and get into this 35.35, that would also set up nicely for a sort of like a a little bit of a double bottom here. But at least we see this little hammer doji here that put in under this 26 area. Okay, so and also the gold future, we're looking for gold future to pull back into this retracement zone, but it just came down to this pivot level here, somewhere around this 1191.70, and it got a little bounce here. So right now I'm essentially still maybe looking for a little bit more of a consolidation and maybe just chop around here, okay, before it make its next move up, because I think these gain here have to be digested, and so we probably would see it. I'm kind of expecting the price of gold to maybe chop around here and get back into this zone here to kind of consolidate before it make a little bit of another push to a higher level. And then looking at the Dow future, the Dow 30 future here, okay, we're looking at this thing to come up to this level here, and you can see that it's kind of tagged this 68.1, 61.8 retracement zone here. Okay, so wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of a chopping around consolidation here before it make another push, because if we get up to to this September FOMC meeting number, could easily we see a little bit of a surge up to the 17,000 level here. Okay, so right now essentially watching this again, basically pushing to this 50% retracement. If we get a little push up here, then I'm still expecting these level here, the FOMC level, be taken out. Same thing that I'm looking at on the ES, the E-mini S&P 500 E-mini future. Okay, so we're looking at this 1940, although we got close to it and then kind of pull back. So right now it could come down here and maybe chop around down at this level, but I'm still looking for this thing to push about this 140. This 1940. If we could get to that 1940 and get above this this zone here, these little pivot zone here, okay, then could easily get it, make a nice surge, surpass this FOMC level, and possibly get up to this area here. Okay, so essentially I'm looking at something in the above 2,000. If it could get back up above this 140 and surge above this this area here. Okay, these little congestion here. Okay, so if we get above this 1988 or 1990 area, okay, then we'll probably have a good shot at getting it back to the 2000. Okay, so again, I'm not looking for this thing to reverse the trend right now, but I am looking at for a little bit of a bounce. And if this thing doesn't materialize, let's say it's start pulling back until it breaks below this 1802, this level here, I'm still considering this as a trading band. And if this thing breaks above this 1940, then essentially we're looking at this double bottom type of formation break, and then we essentially looking for these levels to be taken out. Okay, and if we take a look at the cash index, the S&P 500 itself, okay, is the 1947.20 is the pivot that I'm looking for us to get above, and right now sitting at 1901 as a support here. Okay, so it could chop around a little bit here before it make a push. If it come down, and essentially we're basically looking for this right here as the support, the 1810. So again, basically looking at this as a trading band until either break below the 1810 or break above the 1947.20. Okay, this pivot high. If it break above, we get this double bottom formation and push it up to this 1995 to 2020. Essentially, this the FOMC numbers. Okay, so those are the reference number that I'm looking at, and so essentially that's what I'm looking at on the S&P. And on the SPY, translate that to the SPY is 194.50. That's the 58. That's the pivot. Okay, and the 190.20 is the area of maybe a little bit more of a consolidation. Maybe chop around here before we make another push. Then if we fall back, I do see a some sort of support down at this 185.50 area here. Okay, if we break this level, then most likely it will come down and retest this 181. But right now, again, I'm looking for a possible consolidation, just a little bit of a pause here, and then a continuation move to push through this 194.58 and get back up to take out these level up here, which is somewhere around the 202, 203, and this 200 to 203. And these are the level that I'm looking at on the S&P or on the SPY. Okay. And then we look at the NQ, the Nasdaq 100 futures. Again, we're looking at this 4173.50 push, and right now, looking for this thing to getting a little bit of a pause and continuation to push up on this 40.0925, this pivot. And if we get above that, then I'm looking at this 41.75, the FOMC pivot high there. Okay, so there is some minor resistance up here at this level, but the primary target is the 44.4175. Okay, so we're going to just have to wait and see. Well, can this thing continue to move up and break above this 40.0925? Okay. Again, if it come up and pull back, it could set up a nice what we call inverted head and shoulder pattern here. Okay. So but right now I'm essentially looking for this type of pattern, this right here. Okay, so we just kind of break above. And then if we look at the QQQ for that, respectively, is 106.08. So basically looking for this thing to come up to this 104.31, take out this pivot high here. Okay, so I'm looking for this continuation move to come up to this 106.08. Okay, because there could be a little bit of a resistance here on this pivot here. Okay, because there are some price congestion here. Okay. So and for the Russell 2000, the Russell 2000 future here. We're essentially looking at this, pushing up on this 1053.60 here. Okay. Right now it's trying to push up to this pivot, which is somewhere around the 1035.80. I do have a little resistance at 1008. Okay, so it came up and bumped into that. So right now we're essentially looking for this thing to maybe consolidate a little bit and then try to push up to this pivot and get up to this 1053.60. Okay. And then the IWM respectively, we're looking at this 104.99, essentially 105. Again, looking at this pivot here is somewhere around 102.97, essentially 103. So look for this thing, maybe it develop a nice little bit of a bull flag and then take this thing up to this 105. All right. So that's basically the indexes, and let's take a look at the stocks. And let's start off with a typical momentum stock, Apple. Okay, Apple, we're looking at this 97.33 last week. It came up, so pull back a little bit. We might get a little bit of a consolidation here. If it pull back down to this level here, maybe get down and retest these, these prices down here. That could be a positive as well, but do expect it to make another move to the 97.33 and possibly push up to this 101.53 here. Okay. Then we also look at Facebook, and Facebook we are still looking for this 110.65, this move up here. It is getting into this retracement zone, and one of the target is the 618, which is 106.81. Essentially, these price congestion here. Okay, so right now, it's trying to get above this. Work its way to this these prices here. So if it could get above this 618, then this 110.65 is the next target. So it's going to be somewhere around this 110, 109.50 to 110.50, somewhere around there. Okay, so those are the prices that I'm looking for this thing to try to hit, if it could make it to this retracement zone. If it doesn't, then we're basically looking for it to come back and retest these level down here. Okay, so this pivot low here, this somewhere around this 96.82. All right. Then we'll look at Netflix. Okay, Netflix, we're talking about another test of 92, which it did, and we put in a it put in a little bit of a tweezer top, so we got to be careful on this. So we'll probably see a little bit of a pullback, and if it could hold up here, then could make another push and possibly get back above this 92 and into the 97. But if it pull back a little bit more, then we probably could see prices come back down at somewhere around these level here. Okay, so basically testing this pivot low here somewhere around this 85. So we gotta be careful on that. So we want to see a little bounce and make another push above this 92. If it's gonna come down, look for this 85 level for potential support here. But if it doesn't hold, then essentially we're looking for this thing to retrace back down to this 79.95. Okay, but I'm still looking for this thing to consolidate a little bit and then make another push into the 97.18. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. If it's going to do that or not, that's another matter by itself. So looking at Twitter, okay, Twitter, we're looking at 1904 coming up. Got close to it. So we're still looking for the possibility of making a push, and if we get above this 1904, it could make a run up to this 23.28, or at least up at this level here, possibly at the 22 level. So I want to see how much of a push that it have, to get above this 1904 here. Okay. And Amazon, we're looking at the possibility of getting back up at this 547.18 and then make a push up to this 580. So right now it's kind of got close to it and kind of getting a little bit of a pullback. So want to see it would be able to regather itself and have the momentum to push up to this 547. And if it could make it above this 547, then there's a good chance that it might come up and tag this 580. Okay, so right now it's kind of see what it's going to do, if it's going to pull back and it can get some support here, somewhere around this 525 area. Okay, get back above this basically these level here, then I'm looking for the possibility of coming back and retest this 474. Okay, and then Google. All right, Google, we're also looking at this saying it has to hold this 700, which it did, and right now we're basically looking forward to come up and possibly tag this 752 area, somewhere around this 748 to 752. So essentially we're looking at somewhere around these pivot high here. So right now it's kind of made a little bit of a push and pulling back a little bit. So again, we still want to see it hold above this 700, and if it doesn't hold above the 700, then we'll be looking at the retest of 682. Okay, and then depend what we're gonna do after this retest, then we'll revise the number downward. But right now we're still looking for a little bit of a a little bit more of a push to get back up and retest this 752 here. Okay, and finally we got Tesla. We're talking about Tesla, getting up at this 163.26 and into this zone here, trying to walk itself back up to this retracement zone. So right now we're still looking at the possibility of having this thing, broke through and kind of holding this level as support right now. So we essentially want to see, can it get above this pivot high, and if we could get above that pivot high, and we basically look for the next level somewhere around this 192 near the 50% retracement. And if it can't hold that, then the next possible level that we're looking at is somewhere around this 155 here. And if we can't get a bounce off this 155, then we'll probably be looking at this 141, retest of this 141. So the first thing is to see, can it hold this level of support here, and if it doesn't, then we're basically looking at this 155. So if we get a bounce off this 155, then we could see this thing come back up to tag this pivot and possibly move up to this 192. Okay, so that's basically it for this week. Hopefully you had a good week. The market is still a little bit choppy. We're still focusing on the little bit of a shorter term, on a weekly basis. So we just look at some of these close number, the proximity for quick trade. And if you are doing any kind of swing trade, make sure that you adhere to your stop and don't stay too long, because the market is still trying to establish itself in terms of direction. Okay, good luck.